what to be there.
Can we, let's do it early, can we get started? Anybody have an objection? Nobody's here. No, is anybody on the Zoom thing?
One person.
Who's Krista Gray?
She's from first, I remember.
Oh. What was it?
I guess technically we should probably wait.
What kind of member, Kim?
Oh, she's not.
Still have her hands. I
She's
didn't.
not select- Give me a minute, I wanna look it up. I will. That's quick.
For sure.
Seth, you want to, Canal Road Saturday?
Yeah, I saw you.
Well, I didn't say I have to come by, I bet that's what it was. I see you in front of me, I come down from the road, your wife is in the road, I turned off on another trail. And then when I put it away, I come back down and I thought that was you.
Yeah, we walked down to the Molly Beatty to Forest.
Yeah,
You walk everywhere. You gonna walk the sector, right? No, it's good.
Well, I don't know, that would be a very good walk.
No.
Yeah, we walk a lot. First, good out, that's fun.
You're recording, right?
Yeah, it's recorded.
You just put on.
I think it's close enough. By the time we get to everything else, it will be over. All right, so let's call the order, we need to order at. You wanna say 4:49, at 59?
It's 5 o'clock right now.
Oh, there's at 5 o'clock at the Grafton Town Hall on October 30th, 2023. A motion to adopt the agenda.
So moved.
Do we have a second, somebody?
Second.
Okay. Any objections, any further discussion on the agenda? If not, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay. Now, so now we have to adopt the rules of procedure for this vicious dog hearing, which is going to take place on Thursday at 10 a.m. And did anybody get a copy of the rules?
Yeah.
Okay, we have, since we've been operating under this, but we really have not had an official adopt. So if there's no questions or concerns, somebody make a motion to adopt these procedures for vicious dog.
This is what Morgan sent out last week,
Yeah,
Friday.
yeah.
But you also sent some stuff today.
Yeah, but this was sent out.
So somebody want to make a motion?
I'll make them, I don't know too much about it, if it should be written like this or not, so, yeah.
We can't talk, we can't, this is what it is.
Okay.
I can say I pulled this from VLCT and it was a model and I just adjusted it to reflect Grafton specifically. So all of the wording has been drafted by VLCT.
Again, knowing so little about it.
Well, neither of us do, if this
Yeah.
is a law that's on the, that we have to do.
Yeah.
And even though we have to follow it, we never had a formal copy.
Yep.
So,
I'll second the document.
okay. I'd like to limit discussion on this, because this is a very serious hearing. Unless somebody has any questions about the actual document itself. If not, all in favor say aye.
Alright,
Aye, opposed? I'm assuming Kathy, yours.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
All
sorry.
right, okay, so that's done, so I'll sign that thing later. Okay, so now we're into the budget. You understand what we have in front of us, Kim took the time to do a budget based on the foreman and the 2-man crew. So what we want to try to accomplish tonight is to get through it all, if we can. And then, that'll be a tentative budget, and we would like, Kim and I would like to schedule another meeting in December. Just in case something comes up that is unexpected or changed, so that we can go ahead and make the changes to it before Kim actually puts it to bed. So who wants to start?
So on the 4-man budget. If we go with the 4-man crew, there will be some savings. From in other areas after our discussion with Mike. On Kathy and I's discussion with Mike on Friday. One thing for sure. Is on page 3 of 6.
This is on a 4-man crew budget, right?
Yeah, the 4-man crew. The hydrant snow removal. And then the town hall. The hydrant snow removal, I believe, is $800. And the town hall snow removal is $2,500. Mike agreed that the crew, the 4th man, that the highway crew would assume those duties. As we discussed. Page 3 of 6. So that's a $3,300. And then on page 4 of 6. Mike said the way he'll do it in the winter and bad storms, so they'll operate in 2-man shifts. And he thinks it's going to significantly reduce the overtime. Right now we have 15,000 budgeted for overtime. We could probably push that down to like 10,000.
What did he say, operate a 2-man shift?
He said if they have 4, they could do it in 2-man. They could do it like if it's a bad storm, as opposed to having people working 18 hours, do it in shifts. So that way people aren't working crazy hours, you're not going to have as much overtime.
Very hard for 2 people to get around and keep the roads clean.
Well, it's only, they would use the 4th guy to, use a little truck, but it's only like these really severe storms where they're having to work all through the night, Only people get some sleep. That's what he was talking about.
Well, one thing I wanted to bring up last time. Are we hiring a 4th man that has the same qualifications as the ones we have?
He would, Mike said he would like someone with the CDL, even though we talked about, they don't necessarily have to have one, he would like someone with the CDL.
You're gonna have a CDL, but I mean, are we hiring somebody that can run the grader, can run the loader, run the back and all that?
That's what he would like to do, hire somebody along those lines. Now would be ready to go in and work.
Yeah, well, it's kind of, you see, I guess why I ask that is, if you hire somebody like that, and you put that guy shoveling hydrants. I don't think that would go over very well.
Yeah, well, I think he said that, he didn't say the 4th guy was gonna do it, he said that they would take it over. And he said, but that one person could now take, for example, in the snowstorm, one person take a pickup truck. And use that on the side streets to make it the roads clear quicker. So we could probably reduce overtime.
Were there any other savings besides what you're doing?
Yes, that, and then on page 5 of 6. He told Kathy asked him about tree removal, which we didn't talk about, and he said they could do that. So they could do the tree removal.
They do it a lot.
The tree removal on page 5 of 6, we have
That's
$2,000 budgeted for that.
Yeah.
Mike said they could do the tree removal. There's no reason why they couldn't do it, when Kathy asked him.
I think that might be a subjective number, but it depends where the tree is. That could be a tough.
Well, they're not gonna do it if there's wires involved.
No,
Right,
Pay
right.
up to the
but we don't pay for that
GM.
anyway. That's-
And then, and I don't really know how, I wish Mike was here, we could ask him, for the gravel and the sand, right now we have $35,000 for gravel and $70,000 for sand. He said with the fourth person, they could do the trucking themselves. I don't know how much of that cost includes trucking for the gravel and the sand. I don't know. Do you, John?
I don't know how the breakdown was.
No.
We did it out one year, because we picked it up and then we decided to
Then we had it delivered.
have it delivered.
He said with the fourth person, he could do it, they could do it themselves. So there will be some savings, I just don't know how much.
But that adds to your fuel and your maintenance.
Yeah.
You know, you're saving.
It still overall would be less expensive, I think.
Another thing, Seth, I don't want to be negative against the fourth person, but I just want everybody to understand, we have kind of put off the purchase of that one ton because it doesn't get used that much, and now we're gonna put it back in and use it a lot.
What do you use it for? What do you use the one time for?
They were for
Small jobs.
Kitty Hill or,
Oh,
but that was,
you do track.
And then
What do you do with
they
it?
didn't
No.
use it a lot. They-
And then they use it, Kathy, in the mornings, when they ride the roads with it to see if there's a storm, because then they trees down.
But if you're gonna put it into service, there's gonna be more of expense, and then the truck is 5 years old, I guess, somewhere around there.
Is it all that old?
Yes, it's up for replacement, and we put it off in capital budget, because it's not used that way. And now you're gonna start using it, so you're gonna weigh some of that against your savings.
Yeah. So that's what I had, with Kathy, everything else, so that's what I had as potential savings from a point of view.
Did they talk about, they're not gonna follow the village park this winter? Was that would save on?
I see, I was hoping it might be at these times, when I went over the budget, I circled the other thing, like village park maintenance. I just don't know, I didn't ask him about that, so.
Well, the maintenance was more for any material in case there was washouts, and everybody felt last year that there should be something in the line item. But I know that they have a hard time plowing that area and have gotten stuck numerous times, it's time consuming, so when it comes time for. You talk about the 4 men and how you're gonna split 2, I don't think they'd be doing that any longer.
I don't know.
They should go.
Well, the one time you'd be doing it.
Yeah.
It gets stuck well. It's not a good
Well,
place to be plowing, when nobody's really going up there.
what are they using to plow with if they're getting stuck?
They've used, I'm assuming one of the bigger trucks.
That's what they were using.
Yeah.
It was what they had used at one
It's
time.
not an easy task up there, and nobody's gone up there to use it, and if they're gonna snowshoe, they can snowshoe into it.
Yeah, I didn't ask him about that.
So which one do we wanna go with, the 4-man to work our numbers to make sure we're all on the same page?
Is there, other than the savings that you outlined, that you guys have a discussion where they can maybe do more? Like dead trees along the road?
Yeah, that's the tree one. That's what
No, I don't, the tree removal was if trees fell down in the park or something like that. I'm talking about. They should have more time, so if there are some dead trees or branches that are gonna be, they could do that, I mean.
The Kathy asked
And
him,
wash the trucks more often,
We talked.
and things like that will save on maintenance.
yep, we talked about all that,
And plowing out here, anywhere that,
It looks to me like with a 4th man, it's gonna add a little over $100,000 to the budget.
yeah, it's,
about 98,000.
Hmm.
98,000.
Close there, isn't it?
yeah, it's close to it. And then, the note I had here was that, it will save. The note I had was 13 to 14,000 in trucking costs on the sand and gravel. With the 4th man.
So what's it, I'm sorry,
I need some prices on,
Yeah,
what is it delivered, what is it not?
that's why that might make sense.
We might forget that.
for ballpark figures, what's the bottom line?
It's gonna be more, it's obviously gonna be more, it's gonna be what? 70,000 more, 75,000 more.
So you're saying $100,000 even after the savings?
No, that's before the savings.
Okay.
If you incorporate the savings, you're looking at probably $75,000-80,000.
Plus the.
I mean, that's not including what John's talking about, maintenance, just from what's the line items on the budget, is what I'm talking about.
If you go along with those line items, but in other places where you haven't done anything, you're gonna have to add to it. If you're gonna draw your sand, you're gonna have to add to your fuel.
I mean, either way, if you add a fourth person, you'll have to add to the fuel and maintenance. Right, because there's more things operating.
Yeah. Four rigs operating versus 3.
But you also have to think about. One of the reasons they want to get more work done, but also the safety issues. They have more work with 4 people than with the truth. If 2 people are flagging from the team and 1 person's doing the work, it's not.
Here's all the things to answer this. It said that they'll have more people to flag, they can get the pickup, plow the streets and side roads. Cut down on overtime hours, 2 people at a time during heavy storms. Help with doing grant work, which I guess takes up a lot of their time. Help with ditching. They can run 2 trucks as opposed to 1. They can do more mowing, more grading, they can do the weed whacking.
Yeah.
Agree to shovel the hydrants, agree to plow in front of the town hall.
I don't think they
And
actually,
tree removal, and the tree removal part.
I don't think they actually finished all the roadside north, because I know they didn't do Middletown.
No, they're blowing off the road so they can grade. I know.
Yeah, so they didn't complete this year, they didn't, well, that was the flood,
Well,
that
the
was
other
the problem.
thing,
the
it
flood.
rained in the summer.
But we have to make a decision, how you wanna go through it, whether we wanna do the 4 or we wanna do the 3, because. If we do the 4 and we change our mind, we can always go back and change it again. Question is, which one do you wanna go to and which one you might wanna change?
You're talking about going to the 4 in that budget? They were talking
Well,
about-
either one, but I mean, if you do the 4 and then all of a sudden. You decide that you don't wanna do the 4, then we can have that other meeting in December and you can go back to the 3 then.
If you're talking about a 4th man hired in this year, you're gonna add $60,000-70,000 to budget right off
Of course,
in a budget we haven't got.
I understand that.
Well, the final numbers for the budget with the 4-man and all the changes that Mike made and all the changes we made, and a 4th person, it's $151,100
As last year.
increase from last year. So
So,
that's with the increase in the gravel, the increase in the sand, and the new hire and their benefits.
and so that, based on what is it?
Is that, what is that, oh, that's from last year, I see.
Right, compared to last year's,
So what is it, 15,000 is the cent?
about 17,000.
So how many cents would that be then?
That could be like, I wanna say, is it 8 cents at least?
Let's be on the safe side, say 9.
Divided by 17,000. Yeah, 8.8,
Yeah, so 9 cents, 9 cents. 100 would go up.
8.88, give or take, depending on what the analyst turns out to be.
And without the third, just with the 3rd man, how would the increase be?
I wanna say 52,380.
Right,
No. That drops the other one down to $100,000 that we're talking about.
so that's, what is that, how many cents is that?
6.
Divided by 2,000. 3 cents.
3 cents. So there's a big difference.
52,000.
Huh?
So the other thing to consider too, depending on when you want a new hire to start. If you want a new hire for the winter months starting December 1st, don't forget that it's gonna impact the budget we're sitting in right now.
Exactly.
Because- So for 6 months, I took it from December 1st in the scenario, that's 30 weeks. I did it, whatever wage we talked about as an average. FICA, Medi, Veners, and say they're gonna take the highest healthcare package that we offer. We could have an impact of 50,447 for the remainder 30 weeks of this fiscal year. that we're
Yeah,
in.
and that's a big impact.
So
And that's how much is the person, like $25 an hour?
24. But that's also when Kathy was asking what we have for money for this year, we do have unassigned of 259,000. Okay, so it would chip away at that 250. Granted, we still have the flood we haven't paid for, which is probably this year gonna end up, if we don't get it before the end of the fiscal year, it's gonna look really bad. But in reality, when it all comes around again, we're just gonna chip into that 259. Because we won't be in a deficit, and that's why we have it.
In reality, you really should start, if you're gonna do the fourth grant, you should start it when the new budget comes into effect.
Or you got the winter months
But
coming.
we have the money, but we do have the money.
Yeah, it's in the unassigned.
Okay, so we have the money to do it, and that's, and they would like it for the winter.
If we hire the guy now, and this gets voted down, we lay him off. That's what would happen.
No,
That's, yeah.
Well, that'd be kind of ugly.
yeah, that was the other thing I was gonna bring up, because this gets put down and you've already hired them, and you have to find another way to trim your budget. To get,
Yeah, I mean,
to get the public.
In all fairness, it's very easy for us to sit here and do this. But we gotta sell this to the voters, and in a year of inflation and high costs or whatever, this is gonna be a tough sell.
It is.
And it's very possible, since you're not gonna have a Australian ballot, you're gonna have a live, I mean, they very seldom could vote that down.
And then you'd have to trim.
Then you have to trim somewhere else. And
It's tough.
That or the person would have to be hired, I mean, that's a possibility.
I'm sorry.
They'd have to take the job knowing that's a possibility.
We might not find anybody then.
Yeah,
you might not find anybody,
Yeah.
that's true.
Unless you can cut elsewhere,
Realistic.
Well, realistically,
because they can't, well, they can't,
well, it's pretty
they
clean.
can't really, they can't tell you what they want cut
No.
out of the budget, they just want the budget cut out as.
Right,
And then it's your.
Right, right.
realistically, you could really, you can't cut sand and gravel, and you can't cut certain things. So you cut the paving, and that's what you cut out, and you cut some of the other things you have, so so next year you'd be setting paving 100,000 and 118, whatever it is, you'd be paving 50,000 or something like that. And I don't know if you remember, John, the year that they cut $50,000 out of the budget,
Yeah.
we had to go back, and I mean, it was a shit show, but.
Well, the stuff that gets cut is the stuff that really needs to be done.
Yeah,
What happens?
Well, how long ago was that, Jeff?
well, it's probably back in the 80s.
Yeah, I was just, I've been here 20 years and that hasn't happened.
The town meetings in those days were contentious anyway.
We'll reach the guy.
But you have to remember, this is a tough year for a lot of people. And then you're gonna raise I don't know what that does to the average tax bill, but you don't know what the grand list is gonna be. So you don't know whether it's gonna really truly be 9 cents, it could only be 6 cents if the grand list goes up. And then you have the school surplus, I guess that's another thing. But you can't control that, but I mean, if it does stay at 9 cents, it's more money on the tax bill.
But then again, you can, well, I don't care, I was gonna say, people are seeing an increase all around. There's inflation everywhere, how do they expect the town not to have?
Well, you can't.
inflation?
You
Well,
know,
there's gonna be an increase somewhere,
Well,
but
it's
maybe
one
not that high.
yeah, but it's one thing to sit up there and sell a 3 or 4 cent increase because gravel and fuel's up. But to sell it because you're adding, another $50-some-odd-thousand to payroll, that's a different sell. I mean, it is. And you gotta remember, all of us gonna sit up there and defend this thing.
So. Actually, you're looking at probably an 11.76, because you have to add the 50,000 that's being proposed for. the
It's even worse.
So you're looking at probably a 200.
Why, I didn't understand, but why?
Capital budget, they're gonna probably present 250 rather than 200. Which is not in the general. And we still have to raise taxes.
And what you don't,
That impact the tax,
What's that?
the 250.
Yeah, it would impact the tax rate.
Well, if you include that, then with what you were saying earlier, then the tax would be, instead of 3, it would be 6 cents, right? So from 8 to 11,
Right, you're still gonna add on,
yeah,
that 3 cents onto our normal tax rate no
Yeah.
matter what.
And,
so it's a difference of 5 cents.
yeah, but if you go to the 9, if you go to the 4 people, it's 9 cents plus what?
Plus 3,
Yeah, but it's a 5 cent difference.
yeah,
Between the two, 4%, it's a 5 cent difference, adding the 4%.
Yeah, okay. And but you don't wanna cut the capital budget either, because if you cut the capital budget, that means your equipment goes longer and then you have more maintenance and more expensive.
Well, we did cut it in a way, because we talked about going to lease it instead of buying it,
Yeah,
and that's saving us a lot of money.
yeah.
We
It
did,
does, why does the leasing, the interest rate slower on the lease than the financing?
you only have to raise so much, at least for 3 or 5 years, and you want to raise that amount.
Yeah.
If you don't, you raise the whole amount,
And at the end of the 5 years, you own it.
yeah.
4 years that I
that's
did,
the hard path. I guess it's a gamble.
so.
Well, and what you said, Joe, is if we budget for the 4th person. And we always decide we don't want to do it, at least it's budgeted for 4. We budget for 3 and decide we want 4, then that'll never happen. And is it sort of what you're saying earlier?
I have a little hard time doing it, because I did this for years with 3 people.
That was how long ago?
But
How long ago was that?
10 years ago. But not much has changed. The
big?
mileage has not changed.
There is a lot of
But
grant.
there's a lot more grant work and there's a lot more that the state is requiring. towns
No,
to do.
not really. There's all that, the maintenance of the road doesn't change a whole heck of a lot.
Actually, it's better, Kathy, because in those days, they didn't have 10 wheels with the wings,
We went to 10 wheelers to save money,
yeah.
and I didn't have those then.
I mean, obviously, Kathy and I know the experience, all we can go by what Mike's telling us. And he's saying it's different now than what's there. He said it's a lot more work involved now, it's a great work. And the storms and, it's all.
How did we make out with working 8 hours instead of 6?
As far as switching the time,
No, was that mentioned?
they did not want to switch from 7 to.
No, I'm not
6
saying,
to 2, the 7 to 3, which is what we asked about.
no, this is not switching, working 8 hours instead of 6.
We didn't ask about 8 hours, we asked.
We asked about the question of
30
starting at 7 as opposed to 6, which is what I think
7 to 3.
you asked, and he said that would be a total non-starter. So the people that were there would just leave.
Didn't say nothing about it. Oh,
No, that's what we asked about, was starting at 7 as opposed to 6.
no. I'm talking about the hours that they work right now.
But we asked him about that, as far as what they do in the morning,
Yeah,
he said they work when they're there. He said they're in there, he said now maybe they'll have a cup of coffee, but they go to work, we get stuff ready to get on the roads. That's, all we can do is about what he tells us, I mean.
well, the thing I do,
He's there at 4
I
o'clock.
can visually see this. So I know why I'm kind of saying this,
Yeah,
and they're not working. I just see that you can do so much more can be done with the 3 people if they work 8 hours instead of 6 hours.
So,
You see the equipment going down through the town at noon at 12:30.
I think there may be one person that does that. I think Mike and Colby are out there working. I mean, maybe they stop and grab a sandwich and they get back in the truck, but.
Oh, you're like, give up.
Well, we can't sit here and talk about this forever. So either we have to go with the 4 or the 3 and then revisit it later on. I just know that it's gonna be a tough sell, town meeting that.
I think it's gonna be a tough sell too. One thing that I know is not the place to talk about it, but for the time, given the makeup of this crew right now. Thinking of the future, how we're gonna build it and keep this going, like the age is and everything else. I think that's one of the bigger points to get 4th guy aside breaking somebody in for the future.
Well, I mean, you can always go with the 4, if it gets voted down, and then you got, the consequences, you gotta cut the budget, that's all there's to it. You have no recourse. That's it. And then you can decide what you wanna do. Next year. But once you get to 4-man, it's gonna be hard to go back to 3, I can tell you that.
Oh, of course.
For sure.
That's John, a question. When you were foreman, how many years?
How many years?
Foreman, how many years?
19.
So was it always 6 to 3? Or 6 to 3?
No, not all the time, it was changed. I don't remember when, but it was halfway in between.
So under your guidance, what was it? Or was it later, earlier? When they left, or? Like, when did they start? Did they start at 6 and then,
Yes, I
And
had
when
stuff,
did-
I
and
had
when did
stuff
they
for him to do in the morning,
and when did they leave? At 2?
to that, no,
So it was all 6 to 2. That's what they used to.
same hours they have now, but it wasn't the whole time that I was there. Because I don't remember what it was, but it was like
So they're
7 to
used to
3
6
or.
to 2.
So what do we need to vote on?
What do we have to vote? We just gotta decide which one we wanna go.
I'd like to do it as a foreman. That's what we've had all our meetings with these guys, and
I agree with Kathy, I like it.
if we have to change it, we change it in December. They're really counting on the 4th person to help them just through the winter.
Also, I know I ran into Mike quite a few times last winter and they were struggling.
Well, they're getting older too.
Go through.
Hey, look, here's my recommendation, you go with the 4-man, and then let's all sleep on it. Maybe let some word out or something, then we can see what the reaction, you can always go back and change it, it's simple, before, when is the deadline anyway?
I'd like it by mid-December.
Yeah, so,
At least.
so we have until, let's say, at the 15th of December or something like that, we could set a budget meeting. Whatever that date is, or close to that date, and then put the final.
I'm not against it, I just hope.
I'm not against
I hope
it
we
either.
have results by doing it.
I'm not against it either, I just.
I do too, John, I mean, I'm with you completely.
But I think I have a little more experience into this, that I can see what's gonna happen a little better than the rest of it.
Oh,
And
you definitely.
I'm only expressing what I think is gonna happen. And if it doesn't, I hope it doesn't, I hope it works fine.
I think you have to really also look at the last couple of years of the intensities of these storms. And they got hit twice this year, twice last year. It's a lot, you know, manually how they have to do stuff and also mentally, so.
One thing that was interesting at this VLCT thing I went to. That was a consistent thing, is about the road crews. And how much trouble all these towns are having with their road crews, and we're lucky we don't.
You mean,
Getting people, keeping people, yeah.
Well, we pay a good salary,
Well, that's right.
and we have very, and I say very good benefits.
Yeah.
But
So,
John, I'll follow your advice, I'll drop in there some mornings. I mean, I guess it's part of our job, is being a person up there. I'll drop in there some mornings, see what they're doing.
Yeah, it's.
Yeah.
I do quite often.
And we have asked. Before Seth was here. We have asked them to do stuff on that whiteboard, put a schedule up there, what needs to be done, what's done. What do you anticipate?
Yeah, that's a big thing, right there, they had one of those. I know when Mike worked for me, that was him and Danny, that's what they wanted, they had to have a schedule.
yeah,
And now it's disappeared.
I mean, I run I have a little farm business, and I have a whiteboard in my barn. And every Monday, I put down what we have to do,
Yeah, sure.
and when we get it done, we erase it. And if you can't finish it because of rain or what, then you do something different, or something you have to, but there should always be some kind of, they should have some kind of a plan for the week.
And some stuff you do automatically, but you can still put it on board. You know,
Yeah,
clean your rig, check your oil, I don't know.
all right, so should we go to the full man?
Okay.
All right,
All right, so I have still select board at 5,000.
hang on, let's stop there in 1 minute.
Oh, I'm ready for one, okay.
Okay. No, I'm, look, I don't care about the money. My concern is that, with the exception of Rich, we're all a bunch of old people on the board. There's a lot of work on this board. I mean, you spend a lot of hours. And I don't know what the other select boards around the area get. I mean, it'd be interesting to see. But, I mean, if you want to, for $1,000 and you attract somebody who's in their 20s, 30s, or even 40s, that has a family, to give the kind of time it takes for $1,000. And we haven't made, this hasn't been increased since, I don't know, late 1950, maybe? Seriously, I mean, I know I don't care for myself, I'm just to track other people, this, I've been on the board now 18, 19 years, and John has probably beat me. It's a whole different work than it was 10, 15, 20 years ago. You didn't do half this work. Now everything's so complicated and takes all this kind of stuff. Was it 500?
But I think it's pretty standard, this amount, you can check around, it's anywhere from 1,000 to 1,500. We don't think-
It's in that VLCT book.
Yeah,
When I was looking at the road members dollars, that's pretty standard.
Okay, well, that's fine, leave it alone, I bring it up.
Were you gonna raise it?
Huh?
Were you gonna raise it?
Mine?
Yeah.
No, I brought it up, so I said, people, why don't they do it?
Honestly, as far as I'm concerned,
I made my speech.
I've volunteered since I've been living in town, you've been eliminated as far as I'm being serious. If,
Well, I never took I never took it either before, and then I got criticized for it.
oh, really, all right?
Yeah,
All right. But that's a good point, Joe, but you know, I think that, I got some experience as being fire chief for all those years. They couldn't pay me enough for what I was
Right.
actually doing, you know?
I know, all right, so that's okay, go ahead.
okay. Town administrator, 48.7, that was with her increase. And again, I need to bring this up. I know it's probably under personnel, but I did put bump up for a possible July increase.
Okay.
Okay, so all these reflect that already. Administrative officer, I have that at 1,000.
What is that?
Yeah, what was that?
Administrative officer does a lot of detail work and it's Bill.
Oh, okay.
So anything you're throwing at Bill that actually Morgan could do would benefit to put it under Morgan than to throw it to Bill.
All right,
Does he bill you by an hour? Does he like bill by an hour for that, or we just pay him $1,000?
By the hour, it was $3,300 last year. That we paid him,
Is that $40 an hour?
$40 an hour.
yeah,
Slowly, we're getting away from that.
yes, we are.
Yeah,
Um,
now.
We're down to 1,000?
Yeah, but the actual, did you hear what the actual was?
Yeah, but we're good, but Morgan is picking up
What's?
more and more of it.
That
so-
was total,
What, Rose?
Huh?
3,300 is total last year.
what the town paid him.
Right, well, we paid him actually under several different categories, so yeah, he.
But
got
we
paid
got it
extra.
right, that's part of that was to train Morgan. and-
Right.
So that.
Planning commission we had a line item for him too, I remember that.
So moving forward, that 33 is gonna be knocked down to 1,000, is that what we're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, right there, yeah.
All right.
It's right here in black and white. Yeah.
I
Um,
like it.
That happened, Rick.
the treasurer is 28.5. The clerk is 33.6. It's just kind of a swapping, I mean, it comes to the same dollar amount, except I just moved one for the clerk to the treasurer, so we can start evening them out, because if I should ever walk away, it'd be really hard to get a treasurer. Assistant clerk, I kept the same. Listers, they said it stayed the same. Auditors, 1,500. Trustee of public funds, 3, constable, 1,000. Delinquent tax collector. We put a number in there, even though it's not reimbursable. Health officer, 1,200. Forest fire warden, state 5. So the social and the FICA, that changes as the wages change, so you see increase 13.5.
What
Rate
did-
of Medi-
Sorry, you went so fast at it. The constable, now that we took the dog officer position away from him, is that something that we need to do?
It's totally up to you guys.
What does he do?
If there's
Description?
trouble in town, you know, he can attend to that, maybe help Ashley if she's got an issue like we've had, he'll get someone involved, but not as much as when we had the animal,
Does he do Halloween?
you know.
But if you look at, the hearing that's coming up, he did something for that.
He was constable, it was before we had,
Oh, before.
before we had, so that's why he was so involved in that, but now we contracted.
Well, you'd have to ask him, reduce him to 500, I mean, you won't have a constable. That's right, you won't, so I agree. with
Yeah.
that.
Does he have a badge?
Yeah.
No, no, he hasn't taken any, some constables can and they can carry a firearm, but ours does not.
Yeah.
It's a basic. Like, he should attend town meetings in case there's a problem or a riot arises, he's
Right.
supposed to be controlling of it.
But the deputy shows up anyway.
Yeah.
Now, do we contract him or is he just show up?
Just,
Okay, go ahead.
all right, so we're good there. All right, so social 13.5, Medi 3. Health insurance 25. There was an increase in the health insurance.
What was it?
Yeah, there was.
5,000.
Dental. 700. Because we were over budget last year. Retirement 75. Workers' comp 11. Unemployment 220. Ballot clerk and town reports, I kept them all the same, 9. Did go up on town reports in case our town reports come in. Increase in printing 1,300 by $100. Other expenses, office supplies 25 I left it. Postage 19. That'll be.
They're going up again.
We're gonna try and tweak by. Telephone 37, copier 17. Computer programs, this is the one that I switched out. It says 18 for last year because that encompasses everything. Now I'm breaking it, so it's only gonna be 7,000 for the programs. Later, you'll see the IT in another place. Travel 300, town officials 3, conferences 3, dog expenses 6. I have not yet heard if our ACO is gonna change, so I left it. Preservation of records a wash. Fire alarm systems went up to 350. Hotland records, I left that at 2.
Well, the last year was 450, 480.
The actual, we had some repairs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, replacements. The command system, I left that at 2. We also get a revenue on that part, on the other end of that. For research. Animal control officer, this is where Ashley comes in. I bumped it to 35 just to even it out. Listers consultants. So this is a new line item also. I took away from the large 18,000 from computer programs that we had there. And I'm breaking out so it tells us what it cost us for listers. Those are for our tax maps that we have on a yearly basis. That's about 1,300. We actually have some, Patriot comes in and does our rollover for the grand list. That's usually about 750. So Hardy's asked for 32 for their programs. Computer IT. So this is just what it costs for all of our cybersecurity and everything. It's like 10,700. Liability
Is that a
16,
yearly cost? then?
Yes,
It's gonna be 10,700 every.
10,700.
yeah, yeah.
So I broke it away from the 18 and gave it its own line. Liability 1650, public official insurance 2,000. Officers bond stays at 100, no more kidder garage advertising 2.
Is that gonna change? Well,
Well,
What is the advertising for?
if you advertise for a job,
or something that,
A bit.
legal stuff, whatever.
bidding processes, we have to
Yeah.
advertise. Other professional services, I have 1,500.
What would those be? A lawyer?
Yes, you know, that last time. Services,
Building.
Hmm?
Who's the building?
generator,
No, that I know.
Surveying?
other professional services, you wanted to put in a slash. Well, that's for the engineering. That's his last part. I said to do, I can look that one off.
Well, if you can't find it, Kim, you can let us know.
Yeah, I can.
We'll put a question mark there. You can always,
Legal expense, no, legal expense 5,000.
Yep.
I could change.
yeah, John, the question comes, on the wastewater. If we have to hire an attorney. To protect the town, it comes out of the grant, so there's no cost for the town.
Professional auditors, 18,000.
They went up 1,000, right?
Pardon?
They went up 1,000.
And other expenses, 500.
Well, we didn't spend any money on that year.
But we should have something in the line item. Let's see, this parks and recs, so we got the swimming pool, 1,000.
That's mowing, no, right?
Pardon?
That's mowing.
Yeah, that's mowing it. This is mowing. This is all for
Yeah.
mowing. And the only thing we did on this is, which we have to bid it out, is when, in all of these categories, and it doesn't make a difference how you want to flip it around. We contract out for one complete package.
Hmm.
And then we take it upon ourselves to figure out of that monthly bill for that entire package that we get, we divvy it out per spot. Okay, so. We may say 1,000, but it's only because we think the swimming pool is bigger, Michelle and I, so we give it the bigger percentage. But it's all coming out the same. It depends on whatever we get for bids
Yeah, so
on our mowing.
we can bid this out to maybe the guys doing the cemetery, maybe he'll do mowing next year too.
Well, what you would do is you're gonna put it out to bid and see
Yeah,
if they
if they wanna do it.
bid on it.
Right.
Right.
When do those bids go on?
They should be going soon.
Doing,
I think I have it on the calendar for this next month.
yeah.
Yeah. So all these are just kind of the swimming pool, 1,000 instead, town greens, we kept it 300. Village Park, we moved it to 1,500. Wilson Park, about 500. Green Park cost about 500. Then we move, so that takes care of all of the bidded. Not bidded, that's not right, that takes care of the bid, that was the bid.
Yeah.
Village Park maintenance, that's what you've asked for, you brought it down to 1,000,
Mhm.
in case something happens to the driveway.
Is there any money left in that cap? No.
They might have 5,000, I think, in the reserve.
Okay.
If the town is doing this, why do we have none of the village back?
Because you guys said in case they needed some material for the village park, they wanna know how much it costs separately to fix that driveway.
Who won?
The park committee.
Yeah,
and the
but
board
that was,
last year.
that was the last year, but now if you have money in the reserve account from the timber. Then they shouldn't take any more, that should come out of that account.
Well, what's in that reserve was for like, to do that gazebo thing or signs.
And then it was all supposed to be grants, that was all come grants.
But I mean, signage,
It would
yeah,
be great if it
it's
was
the matches and stuff. This is supposed to be for, you guys tell me road material or anything
I
like
think it should be on the highway. No, we shouldn't even need that there. The highway's gonna do it.
Yeah.
You
I
guys
think
have me
that-
put the line item in, I'll take it
Yeah.
away.
If they need maintenance, the highway
I
department.
wouldn't do it.
Why is there anything in it? What's the 1,500 for the village park? What's up?
Well, that's what they asked to put in there last year.
Yeah,
1,500 and there's 1,000.
You're asking, that, so I was putting it down to 1,000 this year.
take it out and just use for the, because now the parking lot is done, so if they need gravel, they put a load of gravel.
Well,
up
there's
there.
two different entries in here for village park.
Yeah, one is the mowing.
One's
The other is structured, one is maintenance.
Yeah.
Well, so you come up in Village Park for mowing.
what do we know? There's a.
Oh, yeah,
Yep, yep, the Village Park gets mowed.
you know,
The bank?
when you get, as you go up Quiet Pond Road, right off the, as you pass the last house there, there's the whole field, that whole hillside gets mowed.
You're gonna remove that.
Oh, like along,
No, it's a big field.
I
Yeah,
think it's a big deal.
Yeah.
Back to the fire hydrant, put it there.
Yeah.
Behind the board meetings.
Did they ever take that over to Selectboard down? They did, right?
Well, it's a lean to or whatever, they got a grant for that.
Yeah.
So the maintenance was for more of the driveway and the parking lot. And then the structure is just because there's been some expenditures that will be coming up with the structure, so obviously you've got to
Yeah.
pay it from somewhere. Cemeteries, we came all the way down, the only thing is the sexton gets 1,500. Which is Austin. Equipment and supplies, 500. And contracted services, that's
Good.
that's what we bid out, so it's down to 14. And that could change depending on what we get for bids.
Yes.
The LCT, pardon?
He did a good job, right?
I think it's pretty good. He's doing
That's
okay.
fine. The LCT booths, 2,500. County tax, 16,500.
Is that definite now?
That was a big jump, that's.
Okay.
What we paid.
Mhm.
We paid 15,670 already, so I put it to 16,500. Street lights, 17. Library asked for 85. Planning commission, 1,000. Development review, 700. Wyndham Regional,
How much did that cost us?
Development Review Board, so far it's only 10 this year,
Yeah.
Yeah,
$10,
you only pay if there's gonna be a subdivision or something like
Right.
that. So.
yeah. Wyndham Regional Commission, 17, that's our dues to them. Emergency management, that's the generator at the school, and 1,500. Hydrant snow removal, you had me remove that.
Taking that out.
Yep. Yeah, I like it. Mutual aid, 16,500, that I have no control over, so we won't know what that price
Right.
is.
They go up every year.
Yep, they do. The sheriff, okay, so this is the sheriff that. Just through conversations over the last year, 8 hours a month. For the 12 months. At $62 an hour, I bumped it to 10 hours because everybody was talking to see how you guys would feel about it. So it came to 7,200, but we just noticed today, we got the contract and they're actually bumping from $62 an hour to 64. So that should probably increase to more to 77 than 72, if you want them for 10 hours, or we'll go back down to 8, but
Well, John has a good idea. And John's idea was, why have them ride the back roads? So they should just concentrate on the 4 hotspots, town, Cambridge Forward. Townsend Road, and I guess Checker Hill, right? And,
Why are we patrolling Milltown Cemetery
yeah,
or Patriot Road for Cabell Road? There's nothing there, but you have to run into something, they have to run into it. Then they can spend more time on the main roads where all your action is.
when you see, I see the Vermont State Police driving around these back roads, I'll see them.
You know,
so will that make the crowd happy? That you're
Well-
still staying at 8 hours?
that's my next thing. At every meeting we have, we keep telling the crowd,
yeah,
we are gonna do something
I
now.
think you need to go up
You know,
there.
because
I really do,
I think people are gonna be expecting it,
yeah.
because we talked about a lot.
But does their time start from when they leave Brattleboro and get here, or does it start like, when it gets here?
Probably leave Brattleboro on Monday.
So we take 2.5 hours a week, you're down to less than 2 already before you even start patrolling.
Maybe that's a question you have to ask them, when do they start, when they get here? Should be when they get here.
How much money does the town get from the citations they write?
Maybe a couple thousand.
I mean, is there a percentage breakdown of like they get?
Yeah, there's not a percentage.
Well, we should get more now
Yeah.
because we have the ordinance. And before, without the ordinance, they couldn't, we couldn't get the fine from certain stop signs and things like that.
But you had less stops because in one of the letters from one that complained out the valley. They said that the sheriff told her they don't stop cars unless it's 15 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Well, it's 15 miles an hour,
That's
now
ridiculous.
they go 65,
That's good, that's ridiculous.
right at that bridge, where June is.
Well, we're gonna reduce those speeds over there.
Well, we have to decide on that. That's, so, I think you should increase that more. That's my personal feeling.
So you're looking at 10 hours,
Yeah.
that would be $7,700. $7,680 at 64 an hour,
So it would be at 2 more hours.
so they'd be at 10 hours a month. But this doesn't take.
10 hours a month, but not drive around back roads, just at the 4 hotspots.
Okay, that's up to you, all right, so I'm gonna change this to 77 then.
Okay.
Okay,
I don't think it's enough.
I don't think it's enough
I
either.
don't think it's enough.
okay,
I don't,
I'm saying.
you're
2 more
not
hours.
doing anything with it, but
Well, if you really want to do it, you should make it either 9 or 10,000.
minutes, go for it.
Yeah.
Tell them
What
that.
would 12 hours? Like, a month be? What would
I
that
mean,
be?
if it's you 12.
$10,000.
Yeah,
right? That would sound better.
Yeah.
That'd be 9,200. So
What-
we did 12 hours.
Why don't we put 10,000? We can always go back and revisit it again.
You
And
know,
we gotta meet with this guy, right, the sheriff?
Yeah, I have it on.
So maybe we can meet with him before we finalize the budget and see what he can really do for us.
Become
But
a
for
person.
now, you want to put 10 in.
Yeah, I think
is
that-
that gonna help?
But 9,216 would be 12 hours.
yeah, that's all right.
9200.
This may be a stupid question, but that particular line item, will that be on a separate warrant?
No,
Could it be?
I wouldn't do that.
No, you know,
Need it.
No, we try to do that with the signage and it got noted down.
What would 14 hours be again?
Yeah,
it's just that it was such an outcry for it, I don't know if it's a bigger issue than being. buried in the budget.
10,752.
I would be involved in 14 hours.
go along. Yeah, the other thing, I guess the question is, can they handle that many more hours?
Yeah.
I did ask, and the response was that they can increase, they have personnel to increase our contracted
Yeah.
hours.
Oh, good.
That shows we're being serious. about this.
Yeah, 14.
It isn't enough, but it's a lot better.
Yeah, okay, so you want to do 10,700?
The 14 hours is what?
10,752, so we'll go to 11,000.
And then we should, with this extra, we should get at least another couple, maybe $3,000 or $4,000.
You can't you actually tell them what you would like to see for a limit
I would
for
think so.
picking up?
I would think so.
Anything over, let's say anything over 10 miles per hour or more,
Yeah,
they should be ticketed.
Yeah,
I don't know where that 15 came from.
yeah, that's crazy. You go on the interstate, that they'll, I mean, I do 73 and nobody bothers you.
Right,
But if you do 75, you might be in problem.
Yeah. But that's what matters for your insurance too. is the other thing.
So the Cornet band 300. Down to tax maps. 18, she went up on her tax map. Professional appraisers,
What is the money? I know
Do we
this.
still need that?
that happened to them, we had to pay extra to them. The appraisers that one. year.
Yeah, but we don't need to do that anymore, right?
No, because the state covers it.
I'm not saying I'm opposed, but I'm just like, what is the money for the Cornet band? What do we?
It's just-
Polish their truck, what is it for?
For what?
The Cornet band.
So they can
It's a
survive.
donation so they can survive,
so
they
they-
play and all, they march and all of them.
Yeah.
You don't raise water.
Well, they do.
They think that's fair.
Well, yeah, they don't follow, well, they, gas.
You've got to say board with a whole bunch of old people on it.
No, there are some young ones on it. Ooh.
They've had a few original members, I think,
Yeah.
from 1860 roughly.
Supplies I have at
Often.
1,200.
Okay,
Insurance two,
that one up.
yeah, because we only spent 1441.
Now, that insurance is for fire and all that kind of stuff,
It's liability on the building.
only liability.
Yeah, yes, for
What-
the town hall insurance on the town.
Okay, what about the insurance for the building itself?
That's it, yeah, that's all included in the
But I
insurance.
mean, you know, if something ever happened to this building, do we have enough insurance to fix it? I mean, with the high
I think
cost?
we're at $1 million something for, the value of the building.
Oh, okay.
Heat, 2,000. Electricity, 2850. Repairs and maintenance, we left it at 5.
Does that include the railing, or is that gonna be through ARPA or?
That'd be through
That's
capital
it?
budget.
Capital budget or grant, there's a possibility we can get a grant for that.
But we anticipated it within the capital budget.
Snow removal, we're gonna take
That's
out.
it.
The janitor, 17. Payment on principal and interest, you know, negotiate that one.
That's gonna be the same anyway, right?
Yeah,
That's
the
fixed.
principal stays the
That's
same,
fixed.
and the interest declines each
Right,
year.
yeah, but the rate is fixed.
Yeah, it's a locked in for 15 years.
Can I just go back to janitor?
Mhm.
He's not getting any kind of increase?
Only if you want to, he charges $15 an hour, 2 hours a week.
I told him he had an increase the other day when I see it. Nobody does.
I mean, he keeps the building great, and it'd be nice if an incentive, a couple of dollars.
I'm sure he'd appreciate it.
Building is much nicer than towns and stuff.
Is it?
Places. That's invested by.
I mean, what's it, $50 an hour?
Yeah,
Shove it at $20.
Give him $20 an hour, you
Yeah.
figure that out.
It's a tiny company.
Yeah.
okay.
You know.
He's,
Does he come every week?
every Saturday for 2 hours.
Yeah,
Yeah, 'cause
And
I
it's
see the-
more or less vacuuming, yeah, he said, actually, there's, even though we've done the 4.0s over and we're using it more, there's a lot more work to it now. He mops them,
Yeah.
he has vacuum them.
right, it's $30 is what I signed it. So now it's gonna get $40, so you know what.
Okay,
Okay, the guy, gas alone.
okay.
What did you change that to?
It's gonna go up to 20 an hour, and I didn't change the dollar amount, I'll figure out how many.
Okay.
4 times 52,
Okay,
2020. 2080, 2080.
oops.
Okay.
All right, ambulance, that stays the same,
Fire department stays the same.
fire department, same. Rescues,
Same.
the same. Humanitarians,
So we don't know.
nobody knows, but that's where it is.
So that takes care of everything other than the highway. The
So-
highway, we kind of did.
So the highway on the 234 is with the 4th person, you're telling me to put overtime down to 10?
Yeah.
Okay, I like that one. And temporary flaggers, 500.
I think we can eliminate that.
Yeah,
Eliminate that.
what is that under?
The highway salary, up the top of the page,
Page
top,
4.
very top.
So what's gonna happen is I'm gonna have to revise the FICA and the Medi. Because all of that is impacted by the
Right.
overtime amount.
Okay.
So those figures are gonna fluctuate. I don't know if you want me to go through them, so, but what I did do is. There's a percentage for the FICA, which is 6.2 on the overall of the upper one that you just saw, 249.5. Because we have to do flaggers, overtime and regular at 6.2 for the FICA. And the Medi is done at 1.45%. Health insurance.
And you're doing the flyers too, right then.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna remove the
Well,
flat.
all this is gonna go up based on percentage.
What is?
I mean, all these numbers here are Fort Man, but they're
It's
already
got
in.
fourth man in it already.
Yeah, that's right, it's in.
But it's gonna go down because they're gonna remove
Yeah,
5,000 and the
Right,
five
yeah.
hundred.
right,
But
So I'll
the
redo
fourth
those.
man hired may not take ours.
Exactly,
Yeah.
or they may be a single person.
yeah.
I did a benefit of the doubt and did a family, which is the highest.
It's good, it's good. I did it that way.
Dental 18, that's including a new person, it doesn't cost much for us to do for a dental. Retirement will bump up, retirement is 6.625% that we pay our portion.
Does this include, the 50%, the 50 cent an hour?
It does, the 234 up above, I did 50 cents on all,
Okay,
except for the new person. Okay. Workers' comp at 16.7, unemployment for 50, uniforms, I bumped that up because if we have a fourth guy, I divided what it costs for 3, add one more. At 9. And then the rest, I did not change, the rest is all what.
But you gotta change the tree removal and
The tree removal, yeah.
the gravel and sand, I have a question mark because maybe somebody's gotta talk to Mike about how he comes up with his numbers.
I'll talk to him.
Okay, you can do that.
Yeah, I'll see if I can reach out to him tomorrow when he'll stop.
Perfect.
And, I can tweak those numbers. Other than that, I didn't change anything on his part. I left it on the same.
The only concern I had, and Tim was telling me it's okay, is the fuel. Because with this crisis going on in the Middle East, fuel is gonna go up, and now you got another. You're gonna use the equipment more, so I don't know if that number still is okay, but I think we can see what happens by December, and if the fuel prices are skyrocketing, then maybe we have to, but Tim said we added what, 40% to it?
Yeah, Mike asked me, so we're at, what is it, 50,000 compared to 35,000. I don't know.
If you decide to pick up your material, you're not gonna go to Eastman, you're gonna go to Bellas Falls, or you're gonna go to Jamaica, which is just bad.
Yeah. Well, Easton's over now. Easton's over.
I think so, yeah, I don't.
He said, he was talking about, he talked to Captain, he was talking about Jamaica.
Jamaica.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, that's more of a wear and tear on the truck.
yeah, so you're gonna, when you ask him for delivered price, versus us getting it, you're gonna try to find out how much is it gonna cost us to go get it. Good.
Yeah, I think because you're not only the fuel, but the tires.
Tires, wheels, and
Well, that's what I asked him, he was saying that they could do it themselves.
Well, I'm sure they can do it, but it adds, it might save on the freight. But it really doesn't. You don't save it on the gas and for free, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I almost thought he said it was a huge savings.
he
Back
said.
when it was huge, yeah.
Well, let's see what he said. Let's get his.
$14,000.
And one of the
Yeah,
reasons
I
that
thought
huge
so.
savings is because of the price of the material is probably twice as much as what he's paying right now.
You think so?
Not in for a truck or a driver, bring it out here.
I would done 13 to 14 in trucking cost, 13 to 14,000. Say it. Everything goes up.
That's- I don't think we spend that in gas. or what? No.
I don't know.
And I-
Well, it's not that difficult. You can figure out what the miles per gallon average is, how many miles you're gonna travel, and you get a pretty good idea of what it's gonna cost you next year.
Yeah.
Because right now, you're probably traveling no more than 4 miles, 5 miles, I guess. To Eastman and back.
You're traveling an hour here.
So right now on the fuel, we're right in line at 26% and we're 4 all the way through the year. So we're right on target. That was printed today.
And then, what we'll do is, can you and I will sit down and get a date? When we get into after Thanksgiving, and we'll set it as if we need a meeting. If we want to change anything.
Well, We would, because you would have to decide as personnel and select board what you're gonna do about the formula. and go
That's what I think,
through
so-
it.
So, I mean, that's what we'll set a date.
Yes, you should agree for that first, and then,
But we also, if we go on the fourth man for plowing and stuff for December, we start putting a thing out for hiring, right?
Right off.
We should do it now.
yeah, well,
So what do you thought?
It's
Fourth
now
man?
Wednesday.
Is that what you're saying?
No, I
Blurry.
didn't know, did not.
That was Joe's version of the word.
So you say that you have to have it by the 14th?
is that what
The
December?
14th is Friday, the 15th is a
It
Saturday.
would be nice, because that.
So why don't we have a budget meeting the week of the 11th? Yeah, of December.
And you guys will have made your decision, your final decisions, or?
Well, I think
are
it's
we all-
make it right now.
It is already done.
I can do it any day except the 12th.
We're gonna add a fourth person
We
in
need to,
December.
yeah, we need to do it now.
We want to decide right tonight.
Yeah,
I don't think they have to, right?
Yeah, but we still need this other date just to go over the budget in case.
All right, we said December, what, it works for you?
Well, I can do it any, I can't do it on the 12th. You can do it the 11th on a Monday, like tonight, do it at 5 o'clock on the 11th. That work for everybody?
yeah,
Would we wanna do it the same night as the select board meeting or?
No, we do it here, 5 o'clock here on the 11th
November is in,
December.
For the final, so.
Just in case, we might never have to go do it, but at least we put it down.
Send a reminder.
All right, so what are we gonna do? Not the 4-man.
make a motion to hire fourth man and advertise. Start
I'll second.
in December.
So you made a motion that we go with the 4th, Kevin?
Mhm.
My second.
Anybody have any comments?
No. I mean,
Um,
see what happens.
and to start advertising
Mhm.
immediately.
Yeah,
And how is it? It was kind of, the way we
Yeah.
did the hire last time, it was convoluted. How are we gonna work it this time? Because we had a committee or whatever, I don't know, I
I don't think
mean,
we need a committee. I think we-
So-
People more bored of CDL and hiring, did more her. Yeah, it was a little,
And
We're
it
gonna
would be,
Much.
get the job descriptions and all that from that email, I think.
We have. the job
we
description.
have the job description of the truck operator, it's the same as,
We've been doing some preliminary research about other towns too. So we have a bunch of like, very rough ideas of what other towns have advertised for.
Who hired the person, who hired Colby?
There was
well, it was a convoluted way of being hired. There was a committee and then the person, I don't know.
Why don't Kathy and I just meet with the person that was Mike? All right. When we do someone different.
do interviews that way,
I think that would get rid of a lot of,
right?
Back and
you
forth.
know, back and forth, sure.
I'm okay with that, have Mike have some input, he's.
Yeah, and then if you guys narrow it down to 2 or 3 people, then I think then we should all meet. The board should meet.
I think you shouldn't limit it to just Mike, because we're training somebody to
Yeah.
take over Mike.
Yeah, Colby's gotta be
He's
there.
gotta be involved,
Yeah, Colby too.
he's gotta be involved in this stuff.
Yeah, David, no, Colby does.
So what Kathy and I will meet with the folks first. Call, it was Colby and Mike, and then narrow it down to 2, and then we'll all meet. Something like that.
Yeah, and then we'll have have a meeting up here.
It's really critical on that, how you advertise it. And it should have the PDL, and I think it should go along with the description of the truck operator.
I'll have the personnel committee approve it.
Why don't you advertise it, CDL, I mean, preferred? No?
No, you're gonna have it.
Okay.
Then the town would be responsible to get.
Yeah, that idiot got one.
Towns will show problems with that.
So by the time the whole board sees it, it's basically gonna be up or down vote. These guys are gonna take care of it. Between you guys, Mike and Colby. then you're gonna bring it to us, and we're gonna say support or not, and it's all over.
That works for me.
Perfect.
And I
Let's
think
do it.
Mike needs to look at whatever you want to.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, because before it
Oh, this,
It was too much.
was just too much.
No, no, I don't think there should be a fee for hiring like that. Because that's what does us in trouble. Like a start early, you know, don't put any wages on, right?
So we budgeted for
But you don't have.
Well, those people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, no.
Yeah, there's a motion on the floor. Right? If there's no more, if there's no more discussion about the fourth person, let's take a vote. Everybody's set to take a vote. So all in favor, say aye. Aye. Aye, opposed? Okay. We haven't, the only other thing we have, that's it, there's no other business, there's no other, whatever.
Any public comment? You got people on?
Yeah, is there any public comment for the people who are on the Zoom meeting? It's not.
There for a while.
Yeah, all right, so the next meeting is important that we all be here at 10 o'clock or before. To do this hearing. This is a very formal hearing. It's very personalized. It has to be done in a specific way. And so. We're gonna have our attorney here. And the complainant is gonna have, oh no, the dog owner is gonna have their attorney here. And we're gonna go through a kind of if you saw that how it's done, that's how.
You here?
Yeah,
Yeah.
So you have a time on what you're gonna.
yeah, right.
It's like a meeting.
Time.
Yeah.
So, I figured you had a. Well, so I get a class that day.
No, I understand. You can't make it, it's okay.
I mean, if it's that important, I'll make it arrange, but I'd rather not. That's,
The problem was that, upon the request, we had 7 days, we only have 7 days to act on it, so we were very limited. We'd like to now control officer to be here.
Yeah.
And
She didn't make it after 4 o'clock,
you did think of you, we were trying.
yeah, no,
no, that's, I get it.
but it's important, but I don't think it's a problem to have 4 votes.
Okay.
If it was only 2 votes or 3 votes, I think that would be an issue.
I mean, I do have time, but. I get a phone covered for a class.
And,
it's-
Kim sent out via Morgan this thing that we should be reading. What
Book
is?
of Wolves.
Yeah, and you're supposed to read page 23.
23 on. Yeah, you should have gotten.
You're gonna get it on your email.
Just that one section, right?
Not one section, but it's multiple pages.
Is something that would help maybe make the decisions easier
There's some examples.
or harder. As you get it.
I don't know, I'm not looking for this decision.
Okay.
Well, my question was to Kim and Morgan, was that apparently the person who owns the dog has informed us that she had made arrangements to have the dog.
No,
Well, yeah, I guess we shouldn't talk.
let's leave that discussion.
Never mind.
Yeah.
So anyway, so we have the hearing and we're gonna have a hearing.
Can I get a motion to adjourn?
Yes, make a motion to adjourn,
So moved.
Like,
all in favor?
all right.
And-
Yeah.
I don't know.
You know, I don't understand.